Good morning from Georgia. This is how the day starts for this dog who was guarding the bike. My friend Bobby showing me the way. Bobby, the tour guide. Bobby number one. So today, this waterfall and Martvili Canyon, and then we'll go on to Svaneti. Martvili Canyon is a national park in western Georgia, some 240 meters below sea level, of which part you can see by walking and part with inflatable boats. And if you are lucky enough to be guided by locals who will show you hidden gem of Martvili Canyon, this place which is not chargeable, then you will be enjoying almost by yourself the best part of Martvili Canyon. Still enjoying in Martvili, Georgia. Wonderful place, as you can see, hear the sound. There's a waterfall over there. There's a nice canyon over here. So how to say goodbye to this nice place? I don't know. I don't know what's more beautiful, nature, wine or food around here in Georgia. Perfect place to have fun, to drive, to eat, enjoy. I'm charging battery like crazy, you know that charger that says fast charging, this is it. Perfection. And I'm on my way to Svaneti, more precisely to city Mestia, or village Mestia, where I'll be staying for a few days, and then visiting, if the weather permits me, village Ushguli. As I said, Georgia is pretty much the perfect place for driving, eating and enjoying. The only bad thing, or something to be concerned, are those cows on the road. Domestic animals you will find everywhere, and besides the fact that they are nice to see, they are not nice to see if you are driving with a certain speed that you cannot control. You see, perfectly twisty road, nice scenery, towers, nature, and then behind the corner, there you go, cows, walking around like it's a sea promenade. So if your speed is not adjusted, or you're in a lack of concentration or whatever, you can easily hit the cow. Fortunately enough, I kept myself awakened for these kind of moments, so managed to miss them all. there it is, Mestia, on approximate altitude of 1,500 meters. So if you would like to enjoy mountains, skiing, hiking, or simply enjoy some heritage with these beautiful defensive stone towers, or enjoy Georgian food, this is the place. And that was the reason why I chosen this place to be there for the next 3 days, visiting all neighboring sites and enjoying myself. Someone would say that in strange places you can meet only strangers, but that's not always the fact. 2 minutes upon my arrival, I met 2 guys, one from Germany and one from Australia, and in the next couple of hours it was like 12 complete strangers sitting at the table becoming friends. Day after we went there to Svaneti Glacier, spent all morning to climb or hike up to the glacier and then going back. Perfectly spent day if you ask me. We were doubting at the beginning because weather forecast was saying that the day will be sunny, then rainy, and then what to do. We took our chances, and most of our time spent there, the weather was good. At the very end it started raining, so those who dare wins, as they say. On the third day, the plan was to go to Ushguli, and the weather forecast was messy as the day before, so as we said, it was like sunny, it was rainy, it was everything, and you couldn't tell how it will be. Fortunately, the guy that I met one day before, one Dutch guy, went to Ushguli on his bike, and his weather was as well sunny and rainy at the same day, so he saw everything, and he told me that the road is pretty much decent, I mean doable, so that I shouldn't be worried too much. I mean, you never know in the mountains how the weather will turn out and what that might implicate, you know, especially on off-road, if it will be too muddy, too slippery. So let's say that I took my chances. Guys went with the bus and I went with the bike, and now you see here it started raining, but the road was good. Actually, buses went much slower than I felt that I could go, and it wasn't slippery. It was wet, really wet, but slippery, no. Road was narrow. It was some kind of mixture in between soil, mud, gravel. Not slippery most of the times, in some cases yes, but my tires did most of the job, so Heidenau Scout 60 went good with this road. And you know, if you have there's now some buses from another side and you stop, you let them go, and then you continue, you know, you drive as you feel the road. There was a canyon or a cliff down below. Guys from buses told me, "Oh, have you seen the cliff?" But the fact was that I was pretty much, you know, paying attention to stay on the road. So cliff I saw in very rare situations when I would stop, or at the end when I was looking all those videos. certain moment rain stopped falling, and I was hoping that the rest of the voyage to Ushguli I will be enjoying a little bit more. And although the road looked the same, unfortunately, closer I was to Ushguli, it started to be much more slippery. And at the end, I couldn't hold the bike and I went down. Of course, there was nothing serious, just picked it up and continue, and did it a few more times just to be sure that I know how to fall down in Georgia. And there it was, Ushguli. So to congratulate myself, I stopped here and ordered a beer. Turned out that this young fellow was a motorbike lover as I was, so I was enjoying letting him, push the throttle on my bike for a few minutes. And here we go again. This dog was worried if something happened to me, but nothing, of course. At these small speeds, and if you are in the right position driving, nothing, literally nothing can happen. Road was getting worse and worse, and I had to sit down and go as slow as possible to reach it. Here is a welcoming committee of Ushguli. Here I met two guys from Germany, also bikers, that tried to reach the mountain pass after Ushguli, but the road was simply blocked by snow.
Yeah. And there it stops. Hi, drag it. Snow.
And here it is, Ushguli, one of the most scenic places in Georgia. It's a very specific place, it's even within the UNESCO World Heritage Sites as the highest and the most remote village in Europe containedly inhabited. It's on 2,100 meters altitude. Of course, GPS doesn't make sense here anymore, so I had to go off the bike and check the street if I want to drive it, because streets are narrow. The road is still very bad, so it's very easy to get screwed here, but fortunately I managed to see where I want to go and do it properly. those stone towers that you can see all over the Georgia, they are very specific. It seems that every family was, fighting for themselves, or clans were fighting clans, so every family had a tower so that it could protect itself, that it could protect their stuff. So therefore, as a certain heritage of those times, that it still stands strong. So while I was, taking time to take lunch, coffee, beer, rain started again. And when I started doubting if all of this was good, coming here with the bike, rain stopped again. So this is the weather in mountains. It changes constantly, fortunately. So it gave me an opportunity to go back more or less in the dry weather. And this is what scares you when it rains in the mountains, especially in these kind of places. Landslides. It's not too much rain that is worrying you. You always have a rain cover, but landslides, that's something that can be, very, very problematic, especially if you are on one side of the road collapse and you cannot go any further. And here it is, a decent road again. So, time to push throttle. That day was also Independence Day, so what to say? We enjoy our time at the party! And it was time to say goodbye to Svaneti and head to eastern Georgia. Had a good time here, but what to say, when you have to go, you have to go. There are more nice places to see. And the first one to see was Yavari Monastery of Mitsketa from the 6th century near Tbilisi. So I stopped there to take a break for about an hour and visit this place. And in the meantime I also managed to meet a guy who made his adventure with this nice off-road truck. And at the end, a nice spot for wild camping in the nature. What else?